Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have some Monster High news to talk about. From the Stitched in Style collector Frankenstein doll being fully revealed, new episode breakdown, and more. Stay tuned and let's get into it. So let's first get into the reveal of Stitched in Style Frankenstein. This is from YouLoveIt.com, and the pictures seem to be taken from the first listing to have the stock photos, which is the UK listing. So finally they have been revealed, and for me at least there's still no add to cart or pre-order or release date, but again, at the end of October is the esteemed release date, and the price once again is $50 US, and she is going to be Amazon exclusive. So it reads here, meet the new collector Frankenstein Stitched in Style doll. This Monster High doll is an assembly of stitched parts for an electric look. Stitched in Style Frankenstein glows in a deconstructed haute couture gown, celebrating the art of tailoring. Wrapped in silver chains from head to toe, it's the embodiment of high voltage fashion. Luxurious packaging and a doll stand make the Frankenstein doll an electrifying design object to display. So yeah, let's talk about the aforementioned packaging, right? So here it is, and it's not like luxurious. I mean, it's very simple. Like, I don't know what people understand under luxurious, but this is not like a Vampire Hearts packaging. That's like a little bit more step up, like a step up. This is basic packaging. Like, this is not luxurious packaging. Like, okay, calm down, Mattel. Like, the off-white packaging, while expensive, that is luxurious. That is what you would call luxurious. I'm just saying it's a weird choice of words from the description, but the packaging does resemble Gulux Gulia, and I think it's no accident, because obviously both the dolls are not part of a collection or a line. They're one-offs. They're just independent releases. So for both of these dolls to have basically the same rectangle package design makes sense, because they're both in the same they're in the same boat. I just wish it was a little bit more exciting, but like, what else could they have done? It's a simple window, and I do wonder if there's like artwork on the back of the box, if there's anything else to see, because whenever Darko Dark does the artwork, it does it always makes it feel like, it just makes it shine more. And it's always a treat to see his artwork. But yeah, the actual pictures of Frankie, I mean, I think she looks great. I feel like I talked about the packaging for way too long, but yeah, the doll, I mean, the stock photos really do highlight all the details. The arm band, like the gears chains around her arm on her right arm, like that goes all the way, and apparently she can still bend her arm, so that's a really fun detail. Like the top with the white stitching, I like the little fishnet peekaboo moment, right? Her earrings, I like the headpiece, I like the overskirt, like it's like one side poofy, layers, tulle, all that jazz. It looks really cute. It's like very, again, deconstructed, but it still really looks good. I get that they're going for like a, again, deconstructed look, but this does definitely give me like vibes of Freddarella, like the Cinderella Frankenstein doll that they made. I forget the name of the line, but like that's the print, at least is really like the exact same, and then the actual silhouette of the dress to this one is very similar. So I do wonder like if it's inspired by any chance. Also the emphasis on needles all around her outfit, and for instance, like the needles on her heels, the shoes, those are very thin. They look very flimsy, so they will bend so easily for sure. Like that is definitely going to be a concern. But I mean, then again, most Barbie or Mattel made shoes, the heels, they usually bend. That's just how it is. The plastic just bends. It's not really their fault. It's just what it is. But yeah, I think the face looks really cute. And honestly, like the price point is really good for what you get here, because I mean, you don't get too much, but like considering we had to pay $75 or something for haute couture Frankie, although she did come with like a much better packaging, a diary, certificate of authenticity, a purse, like she came with more for sure, and the lashes too. But I mean, overall, like you're basically getting the same gist here, minus the diary and a bag and the rooted lashes. But I mean, essentially the same. So I feel like it's a good deal, and she's a good doll. I like the design very much, even though again the design does feel a little bit inspired. Like it does feel like we've seen this before, like the pattern, at least like the shape in previous dolls, but I don't mind. I think it still looks very good. Like I like the top, it looks amazing. I like the chain accents as well. She's gonna be one of, I don't know, I feel like people like her. So I think, yeah, she's good. So the new episode, the first half is called, Best Fiends. It's all about Draculaura. She has to find a gift here for her BFFs. It's Ghoul Spirit Day. That's what you do. So on this day, they celebrate their friendships and like the monsters who make Monster High so uniquely spectacular. And so the book finds her some a spell for friendship bracelets, and because the book is in a rush to get to his own event, she accidentally, writes down only half of the instructions, but she still conjures up the bracelets. But they're not going to do what they're supposed to do. So Draculaura is on her way. She doesn't notice Toralei, and then they bump into each other and causing all the ruckus. Toralei obviously not pleased because she was hanging up the decorations, doing her part, and she, we can kind of see here that Toralei is just jealous of Draculaura, basically, because Draculaura has all these, titles bestowed upon her from people that chose her over Toralei. As we had seen in the beginning episodes of the season, where they were always like fighting over, competing over the same titles, like head cheerleader or student body president, and Toralei lost in both. So, Draculaura is she has a lot on her plate. She's always very busy. So one of the bracelets gets lost on the floor, and then Toralei picks it up, puts it on. She's like, yes, this is so my style. Blue fits me perfectly. And then they get to class, but we can see, something's acting up. So obviously once they leave class, the bracelets do not let them leave each other. They are tied together basically by magic, and so they try to get away, but it doesn't work. And so Claudine and Frankie come around. They're like, what's happening? What's with these bracelets? And then Draculaura realizes that there must be something wrong with the bracelets, that she must have done, like she probably did the spell wrong. And then Toralei's like, what have you done? Because obviously she's like against witchcraft. So Claudine and Frankie are like, you know what, we'll get the book. You do your duties here and we'll get the book. So that's what happens. Come lunchtime, Draculaura is trying to eat, but of course, because she only has basically one hand, it's not very easy. And I love how Toralei is just sipping some milk, because of course she would. She's a cat. I love it. And then here, those are her ears. Yes, Toralei's ears. Draculaura has to, perform. She has to do this whole speech while Toralei is in the back, right there, because obviously, again, they can't leave each other's sights for too far. Doing her nails, so like that's just so hilarious. Toralei even helps her with the speech a little bit, which is so cute because you can definitely see that they're not enemies, like they're trying to get along. And so here, before cheerleading practice, she has to put on some sunscreen, Draculaura, because obviously she's a vampire. But then Toralei says, like, it's night, there's no sun, it's not day, and even more weirdly is that, they actually do the practice indoors. So why would she need to put on sunscreen? You're indoors, honey. Like, what changed? You're in the auditorium, like what? But anyways, so obviously the routine that they had previously, established isn't gonna work, because now they have this issue. So they have to create a brand new routine. Wouldn't you know it, they also have to put aside their differences and work together. This is when the bracelets actually come off, because the bracelets are sensing that they're, working together. But actually, it turns out that it just made the bracelets even tighter. Like, they restrained, there's actually like a cord now tying them together. So whoops, ended up not being such a great thing. But yeah, they start preparing decorations and stuff for the Ghoul Spirit Day. Basically just going through Draculaura's duties, and the last thing is to put up the flag on Monster High at the very top of Monster High. Here they get to talk a little bit more about maybe they're not so different after all. I mean, they're both fans of Monster High, right? So that's a start. Meanwhile, Claudine and Frankie, they're at the party with the book. They get him back right in time for the performance where Toralei and Draculaura are actually working together perfectly. They are in sync. They are completely in harmony, and they're working together perfectly. But then the book, the codex, absolves the spell, and even then, when they weren't really tied together, they still performed perfectly the finale. Everything worked out great in the end, and Draculaura was able to finally give her BFFs, her actual BFFs, their bracelets, which are not gonna, malfunction. Before Toralei goes, Draculaura also ends up giving her a bracelet because obviously they're now friends. They're friends. Yeah, they're friends. They're friends. They're friends. Yes, finally. After all this time, I'm just glad because yeah, it's really cute. I like that. I like how they really developed this friendship from enemies, rivals, to now, friends, amicable at the very least, which I'm very happy about. Then the second half is called a Career Day. We open with Heath, actually him recalling for the first time the episode. It's Career Day at Monster High, and he's talking about how, yeah, I want to, he's excited about it, obviously. And so Laguna comes in, she's like, oh my god, is your dad gonna be here? Because he's like, it's such a big deal, he's Hades, and then Heath explains basically that, his dad is not a great dad. He only ever really talks to Heath whenever he wants something from him. So, for instance, Heath is like, oh, it was my birthday, you remembered. But then his dad is like, nope, I just got this cake for myself because I'm craving chocolate cake. Honestly, relatable, but still not nice. So he eats the cake all by himself. Amazing dad behavior. Heath is not a fan of his dad. He's just not had the best experience so far with him. But yeah, now he gets to learn about other people's careers. So we have Dracula, we have Medusa, and Lyra. I wonder what they will be lecturing about their careers. Like, what would their career be? But yeah, then we have Cleo's parents. Really fun. We'll get to see more about what they're teaching later on. And then of course we have Abbey's mom, Tundra. So he goes to her because he's super into the environment, trying to save it, environmentalism, and she apparently is really like a beacon and an icon in that area. So he's read her books and everything, and she's super honored. And obviously Abbey is also going to be tagging along for this little field trip that they're taking. So he's super excited because obviously he has a crush on Abbey. They're a thing. I'm calling it now. They're so cute. I can't even deal. But yeah, so they go to the I forget where this is, but basically this is a very important place where it's all frozen and they have to keep it frozen. This barrier, because it also it actually contains these little pixies that apparently are very bad because they put people to sleep, and they also harvest the power from Monster High and other like energy sources that apparently are spread throughout all of the monster world. So these little pixies cannot get away, because if they do, again, they will steal all that energy. So that's very not good. But then Hades appears also with Laguna and Kuma, so they're tagging along on this field trip, and Heath is not very happy about that because his dad is the CEO. He is the boss of the underworld, and he is responsible for all of these disasters, these natural disasters, because he is is he? I don't know, but the way Heath talks about this makes it look like his dad is responsible for all of these catastrophes happening in the world. And so Heath is trying to take a different path. He's trying to fix all these things, but he doesn't get it. He's like, he's leaning on the ice, melting it by touching it, because obviously he's fire, he's an elemental. And then Tundra explains that this has happened before. Heath's dad had melted the ice caps before, and it was a mess. You know, obviously Heath's dad has an agenda. He's trying to take one of the pixies for research purposes, but accidentally cracks the ice open and also releases the pixies. And I love how he would have sacrificed Laguna's life for his own. It's just, oh my god. Now, this is what I was talking about before. This is the class that Cleo's parents are teaching about ruling, you know, ruling, being a king or a ruler or royalty, whatever. And here is Mercedes. Yay! She's here. She's here. She doesn't speak, but I guess they're practicing how to be a ruler, so really fun. But yeah, the pixies are at Monster High. They're putting everyone to sleep, and then she's like, "Don't you feel any remorse? Like, don't you have any like a consciousness?" And he's like, "Yeah, I don't get what you're saying." He doesn't care. It's so obvious. They're at Monster High again. They track down the pixies. I love how they both use their powers. Super fun. And actually, Tundra even saves Hades from the pixies because he's still trying to get one. So even now, he's still like just trying to follow his own agenda. And eventually they do follow, the pixies actually find the way to the catacombs, which leads to the source for Monster High, which is not good again, that they cannot reach the source. And so while the rest of the gang follow in the catacombs, these two are trapped in ice. And so they have a heart-to-heart. You know, Tundra explains to Hades that, you know, parenting is complex and maybe he should try listening. And he's like, yeah, you know what, I'll listen. I'll try listening to you now, son. He's like, I'm a new man. I'm reformed. I'm no longer evil. Except he's like still CEO, but he is gonna change. He's gonna try. First thing he's gonna do is, you know, contain these pixies, which they do by surrounding them, by, you know, basically just putting them in ice and freezing them again, and then that's done. They've done it. They've accomplished the mission. They've saved the world, as Heath said at the beginning of the episode. And here at the end, we can see a little bit of flirtation. Not really flirtation, but like just a cute little moment that gets quickly interrupted by Hades, who recalls some embarrassing, you know, young memories from Heath when he was a kid. But Abbey is like, yeah, I relate to that. So they have a cute little moment, and she's like, I gotta go. Heath's like, yeah, bye. So it's just really cute. I love their interactions. I hope they get more. But yeah, Hades here, he's like, I'm sorry. And he's basically saying like his own dad was like his relationship to his dad Kronos. It's super complex, the whole Greek mythology, but basically he was a horrible dad. So obviously he had a very bad you know, role model, and so he's gonna try to do better for Heath's sake. Also part of this was buying all of the Tundra's, you know, books, copies, you know, Abbey's mom, to give to the people in the underworld so they can learn about environmentalism and just get more people to try to save the planet instead of like burning it alive. And at the very end, you know, he invites Heath to a zappuccino, you like a little drink, right? So, and then they go, and it's just really fun, you know, it's just really cute little moment. And I really hope we get to see Hades more. Now tomorrow we'll be covering the latest episode 23, I believe, the one half called Horsing Around, where it's all about, you know, Claude and Dracula having to hunt down whoever you know, stole the talismans, and of course we're gonna get to see their romance blossom. And then the other half is called Stone Alone, where of course we get to see some of his sisters introduced, which are the twins, because apparently he has 6 sisters. So only 2 of them we get to see introduced in this half of the episode. So look forward to that. And that was the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and become a member today so you don't miss out when I post more content like this coming your way daily and keeping you up to date with all the loyalty you love. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time. Stay peachy. Kisses.